Hi everyone, my name is Tatiana and welcome to Miami, Florida. Don't let this beautiful weather fool you. It's been pretty stormy and chaotic here lately. And as it tends to happen, it's also been pretty stormy and chaotic in my own inner and outer world. I know I can't be the only one experiencing that, so I figured that a simple 10-minute vinyasa under the shelter of this 50-year-old avocado tree, who I'm sure has survived a lot of its own chaos, would be a great way to take some shelter. This is a beginner's class, so you don't need anything other than your mat, and we're going to get started in child's pose. So for child's pose, you're going to come onto your hands and your knees, and you're going to bring your big toes to touch behind you, and widen your knees towards the edges of the mat. Send your hips back first to sit on your heels so that they're touching, and then walk your hands out in front of you, bringing your forehead to the mat. Take a deep breath in here, let it out through the mouth. And especially when we're experiencing or when we're in a chaotic place and our nervous system is working overtime, you might have a tendency when you first arrive to this pose to fidget with your clothes, your mat, with your devices. I strongly encourage you to just sit with the uncomfortable. Our anxiety is a storm that is fed by our avoidance. So the most powerful thing we can do is to just sit with it. Taking deep inhales, deep sighs out through the mouth. 3 more breaths here. Every inhale lengthens you through your spine. Every exhale allows your body to sink a little deeper towards the mat. And on your next inhale, gently press your palms into the mat. Walk your hands back in towards you and come back into a tabletop pose. Bring your knees underneath your hips and find a nice neutral spine here, really drawing your tailbone in and drawing your navel in and up. Press your hands into the mat firmly, really squeezing into the mat with your fingertips. Find a nice neutral spine in this tabletop pose. Bring your right fingertips to the back of your head, just gently gracing your head. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. And open up into a twist, isolating it just through your mid and upper back. Hips stay still. On the exhale, twist in towards your other elbow. Inhale, open up into a twist, coming into some thoracic twists here. Exhale, twist back in. You got 4 more like this. Keep breathing, following your breath. Keep your hips still. And keep your elbow wide. So your elbow is not coming in, rather you're keeping your elbow where it's at. You're just moving using your upper body. Sometimes when we are really stressed out, our chest tends to get really tight. Inhale, last one. Exhale, release. Bring your hand back down towards the mat, and you can take any wiggles that you may need. Send your right leg back. Really press through your heel to feel a stretch through the back of your leg and your calf. On your next inhale, bring your right leg over, cross it behind your body to the left side. Again, bringing your toes to outside of your mat and pressing into your heel. This time to feel a stretch also through your outer glute. Keep pressing your left hip in towards center line to emphasize the stretch. Deep breaths here. This is one of those areas sometimes we don't realize we were holding tension. Inhale, come back to center, back to your tabletop, coming into our thoracic twist on the second side. So bringing your left fingertips to the back of your head. Again, lengthen through your spine. Inhale here. And open up into your twist. Again, your hips are staying still, just the upper body moving. And as you crunch in, really draw your navel in and up like you're coming into a cat pose. Inhale, open up. Exhale, twist. You got 4 more like this. Go with your breath. Really just isolating through your upper body, using your core. Open up, look up at the sky. Exhale, crunch and use your abdominals. Last one, inhale, open up. Exhale, crunch in. Inhale, come back to center and release. Sending your left leg back this time. Pressing into your heel to feel a stretch through the back of your leg. You can make this dynamic if you want, adding some pulsing sensations. And on your next inhale, cross your leg behind your body to the opposite side, pressing your toes down and really pressing the right hip in towards center line to feel the stretch through the outside of your glute. Really breathe into that space. Inhale, come back to your tabletop and walk your hands a couple inches out in front of you. Tuck your toes back behind you, and on your inhale, send yourself back to your first downward facing dog. This first downward facing dog, you can make any movements that feel necessary. Really focus on pressing your hands down into the mat and sending your chest towards your thighs. Your heels don't have to be touching the ground here. Just keep breathing. We're going to stay in this downward facing dog. We're really going to press through our left hand and reach our right fingertips to grab the back of our left ankle. Coming into a downward facing dog twist, you can take a nice gentle peek underneath your armpits, looking up at the sky. Keep your knees facing forward. Keep breathing and relax. We tend to freak out sometimes a little bit in these poses of getting a new perspective on things. Keep breathing here. Final breath in. Inhale. Exhale. Gently unwind from the twist. And you can paddle out the feet, even shake out your wrists, whatever you may need to do. We're going to straighten to the second side, this time pressing more into our other hand and reaching our left fingertips towards the back of our right ankle. Again, taking a nice peek underneath you. And your inhales lengthen you in your downward facing dog, gently pulling your chest a little closer towards your feet, towards your thighs. And your exhales allow you to twist a little deeper. Try to relax and enjoy the new view, new perspective on the storm. Sometimes that's all we need. Exhale, gently release, come back to your downward facing dog. Maybe reach your heels a little bit more towards the mat. And on your exhale, walk your feet towards your hands. Take a generous bend through your knees, and you can widen your feet a little bit wider than hips width distance, really bending in. Bring the weight towards the balls of your feet, so much so that your heels are almost floating off the mat. And grasp either elbows. Let your head hang heavy here. Coming into your ragdoll fold. Releasing any tension through your jaw, your neck. Deep breaths here. If you'd like, you can play around with bending or straightening the knees. Keep the weight towards the fronts of your feet. And on your next exhale, gently release your hands towards the mat and roll up one vertebrae at a time. Taking a second here to come to a standing position. I'm going to turn to face you, but you can stay where you're at. We're going to come into our mountain pose here, really pressing down through both feet. And from this mountain pose, take a big inhale up, reach your hands up towards the sky. I got the tree here in my way, but that's all right. Exhale, bring your hands in towards heart center. And we're going to come into tree pose. So I guess this tree was signaling that. Press more into your right foot, and you can bring the bottom of your left foot like a kickstand. And you can keep it here at your ankle. This can be enough for you to just practice balance. Or you can challenge yourself by bringing it onto your calf or reaching for the ankle to bring it to the inside of your thigh. You really want to focus here on pressing the standing leg into your foot, simultaneously creating opposite forces to lift and lengthen you up. Your hands can stay at your chest, so you can take any variation of tree that you like. Really find your stability here. Anchor yourself in the storm. Find your balance. Keep pressing, lifting up, and also focusing on opening through our hips. Really pulling that knee back behind you. On your next exhale, gently release your leg, shake it out. Go straight to the second side. Pressing more into our left foot this time. Bring your right foot as a kickstand. Again, trying to take the same variation we took on the other side if it's accessible. You can place the foot anywhere you like. You just avoid the knee joint, putting any pressure on the knee joint there. Again, we're really trying to squeeze in and create opposite forces to lift ourselves up, to find stability and strength, while simultaneously opening up our hips, sending the bent knee back behind us. Or rather, it's being pulled back to open up through our hip. Breathe here. On your next exhale, gently release. Shake it out. Inhale, reach your hands up towards the sky. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Taking a little bit of a flow here before we end practice. Inhale, come up halfway, lift, flat back. You can come your hands onto your shins or your thighs. Really lengthen. Exhale, press your hands into the mat. Step back. Inhale here. Exhale, shift forward. Chaturanga. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. You can take your upward facing dog or your cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking any final movements in this downward dog. And once you've had enough of that, you can bring your knees towards the mat. Send your hips back, coming into your rock pose. Bring your forehead to the mat. Bring your hands back behind you, palms facing up. Ready to receive the benefits of our practice. And while you take a little bit of a reprieve, I'm going to share with you a story about sitting in storms. The other day during typical Miami summer thunderstorm, I got caught in the middle of one. And instead of running or walking away as I usually do, I decided to physically sit in the storm. And as it tends to be, my mind was also feeling quite stormy. But all of a sudden, as the storm intensified, out of nowhere, there were fireworks. Somebody somewhere was setting off fireworks. I couldn't tell where they were coming from, but it was a beautiful sight. And they went as quickly as they came, but I was left even after with this sense of comfort that fireworks can exist in a storm, filled with hope. and realizing the beauty and the magic you can find if you just sit with the storm, how much more quickly it passes. Take some final deep breaths here. And on your next inhale, bring your hands to your sides. Gently bring yourself back up. Gently make your way to a seat. No rush. Whatever way you'd like to get there. Take a deep inhale. Reach your hands up high. And bring them back in towards heart center, placing them by your heart. I hope that when you open your eyes after the storm, that you find yourself in a much clearer place. Fireworks and rainbows and all. Gonna end class as always with the mantra, I am happy, I am healthy, I am full of love. Taking a deep breath in to prepare and repeating on the exhale. Inhale. I am happy, I am healthy, I am full of love. Bring both thumbs to third eye center. Namaste Nomads. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope that this practice really served you well, helped you get some more comfort and look at the storm with a new perspective. And if you like this class and want to see more of it, please like and subscribe. You can leave me a comment, and I look forward to hearing how this class affected you. Thank you. Bye-bye.